1933, the Great Depression, the end of Prohibition. Everything was in sepia. It didn't even have proper black and white, but they did have this. It takes a very brave man to drive a car like this on the streets, and an even braver man to let somebody else drive your car like this on the streets. Hello and welcome to Project Nigel for another rather exciting car review video. Oh yeah, this time it's this one, a 1933 Dodge Plymouth Coupé hot rod monster thing. I did feature this little car last week. Had a little walk around, heard the engine revving, had a look inside, had a look underneath it. It was all really rather exciting. But what could be more exciting than looking at it? What could be more exciting than looking at it? First thing I notice about this car, it looks like it's got a snow plough on the front. A bit like my beard. The bonnet is covered in what looks like cherry tomatoes, but actually what they do is they release the heat from the engine so it can run without overheating. It's got wheels that stick out with skeleton legs and truly massive wheels on the back. You won't want them any bigger than that, surely. It's definitely not what you would call a long car. In fact, how long is it? How many steps? 1, 2, 3. 3 steps long. That's not very long at all. But it does look like some sort of gangster, bad boy, aggressive thingy. Is it as aggressive as it looks though? Or is it just a big V8 pussycat? That stinks. We open up the door, which opens the wrong way round. One thing I noticed about this car straight away was the door shut sound. Listen, that's quality. Open this up again. And because of the sun, you can smell the car, and it smells of proper leather. As you would imagine, there's not masses of room in this car. It is a strict two-seater, although I'm sure when this car was new they'd try and cram 3 or 4 in. It's got a lovely big leather steering wheel, and the seating position, look how high up my knees are, like you're riding a horse. That's probably what it feels like to drive. Not that I'm going to find out. There's no way I'm going to drive this. No way. No way would I drive this thing. Far too scared. Ow! I don't suppose the steering column is collapsible, and this dashboard here is made of metal. At some point they started having plastic coated dashboards to stop you from smashing your brains in when you hit your head on them. But gosh, it's stylish. It looks more 50s to me, but maybe that's just the red. Now I believe this car has air conditioning as well. At the time that most definitely would not have been a standard fit and more of a retrofit thing. But why wouldn't it be? Everything in this car's retrofit. It didn't come out of the factory with a 6.6-litre 450 brake horsepower engine, or indeed somewhere to charge your mobile phone. Real leather door cards, real leather seats, real leather steering wheel, real leather gear gaiter, rear... is that one real leather? Don't know. It has a fire extinguisher behind your head for obvious reasons. Anyway, what is a hot rod? What does hot rod even mean? Well, I can tell you, except that I've forgotten what it means, so I can't tell you. can we find in this car then? Well, original DP6 steel body, chopped for
Chevy
5-inch
cubic inch
shortened
small
tail,
block,
aftermarket
mild
1932 box
flat
sport
top,
chassis, custom built
rolling
independent
rockers,
front
MSD
suspension,
distributor,
Opel Manta spindles and steering, 750 CFM Holly TH350 3-speed auto, custom
air
leather
conditioning
interior,
and heater,
VDO
and Craig
gauge
Street Pro 15-inch wheels.
Oh, this is scary. I daren't actually put my foot down properly looking through this. Normally it's quite easy just to have a chat whilst I'm driving a car, but with this one it's I'm just concentrating on looking where I'm going. Oh dear, look at this. Poor me. It's not very often I find myself speechless when I drive a car, but this one, it just felt so unnatural. Sitting so close to each other because the car's so narrow, sat up with your elbows digging into the door cards, no seat belts, having that great dashboard there that you could actually crack your head on and damage yourself with, and then having this immense amount of power at the back end that just, it didn't feel particularly predictable with the kick down. And at any moment suddenly it could kick down a gear and see you crashing into a sheep. And there's the steering's quite loose, not loose, but there's quite a bit of play. And it just sort of lifts, the front end lifts as you take off there. It's, I think I'd need to spend quite a bit of time driving this before I'd actually do that properly. Oh, it kicks down a bit, kind of when you don't expect it to do. The mirrors aren't really up to much either, are they? Useless. Okay, I'm going to turn around here if there's nothing behind me. Oh, the indicator's still on. It wasn't the most exciting review I could possibly have given you, but actually, due to the way this car drives, being right up against the door there, my knees up against the steering wheel, like I said, like you're riding a horse more like, the kick down just suddenly happens. There's not going to be any massive, it's not going to be any great finesse with the chassis particularly, so I'd imagine it's quite an easy car to just lose suddenly. So I wouldn't drive it like I'd drive my own car. But even so, I'm very, very grateful to have actually had a go in it. But I actually feel a bit nervous on that. It's a rare occurrence that I'm a passenger in a car and feel less nervous as a passenger than what to do as a driver. I'm not usually a very good passenger. Is the aircon good?
Yeah.
Are the brakes any good?
Yeah.
Well, this is a first. Drawing a conclusion whilst driving my own car back. That was quite possibly the most exciting drive I have ever had. And almost you're supposed to do things that frighten you. That's the first time since I learned to drive an HGV that I've actually felt nervous driving a car. Well, in conclusion, they don't make cars like that anymore. Obviously, incidentally, there is a possibility that car will be going up for sale. I don't know how much for, and I don't know whether it is or not. It's just something that he mentioned. It's not going to be cheap though, whatever the case.